Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. My name is Janna, for those of you that might be new, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I am going to be having a fun card today, and these are the two bundles that I am going to be using. Just giving this a second so I can get it brought up here on my iPad. Well, it might take a minute because it's not showing up for some reason. So are you a pumpkin spice kind of person or no thank you? I like some of it. I love pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkin bread, pumpkin pie, of course. So there's some of it that I like and some of it that I don't care for. Just depends on what it is, really. But today it's a card, so we don't even have to taste it. I love this set, the More Than Autumn set, and so this has lots of fun stamps in it with great words and then dies, and there's also word dies in the die set. And then this is the new Tractor and Company set. It's been out for a little while now. So I'm going to use the wagon and the pumpkins out of this set. I'm also using the perennial postage dies, and that's what those look like. And some of the paper I'm using is from the Timeless Plaid 6x6 package. And then a little bit of paper from the Brights Designer Series papers. All right, let's get to it. All my parts and pieces here. Actually, I think I'm just going to pull out a little piece of white. I did do some of my stamping and die cutting ahead of time just so that we wouldn't take up quite as much time. Let me pull this back a little bit here. Excuse me. And I'm just going to put my little piece of white cardstock into my MISTI here. And I need the latte cup. I wonder if Starbucks is doing their pumpkin lattes yet. I think they are. I haven't had one yet this year, though. I need to take care of that. And let's see, I'm going to do the whipped cream. I need the cinnamon stick. Where is that? Right here. I can put it up there. And the pumpkin pie. And I'm thinking that is all I need for right now. Okay. You get it all situated in there, and the stamps are so sticky, they always pull the cardstock up. Okay, let's get some ink on some of these stamps. The pie and the cup, I can, oopsie, ink with black. And now I've gotten ink on the other ones that I don't want to have ink on them. So we'll just take care of that. Get it off of there. Okay, let's see how this goes. Just fine. And then, so I can take those two stamps off. Let me go ahead and clean them again and get them off of there. There are 36 stamps, is that right? In this stamp set. That doesn't seem possible. Let's see here. I don't know if that's what that means. No, there's no way there's 36 stamps in there. I don't know. There's a lot though. Okay, so now the whipped cream, I'll do it last. I'm gonna do the little cinnamon stick and I'm gonna ink that up with pumpkin pie and try not to get it on my whipped cream here. So there's that. And then I can take that one off. And I can get rid of this ink pad. And I need basic beige. Usually I stamp things that I'm going to leave white with Pool Party, but today I decided to do basic beige. I thought that might be a more whipped creamy looking color, maybe. So I'm just moving my stamp because I need the big dollop and then I need the little dollop. The big dollop for the latte and the little dollop for the pumpkin pie. I know they both look like a big dollop. That will all change here shortly. Okay, so I think we're mostly done with the stamping, not quite, almost though. I need the little pumpkin out of here. And my little, I could do it with this, but I'm just gonna do it with a block. Cute. Okay. Hi, Danita. Glad to have you here. Oopsie, I put that on there upside down. There we go. Okay, so I will go ahead and color these up real quick, and then we can die cut them and get to building the card. So I'm using, I stamped the cinnamon stick there in pumpkin pie. Just gonna bring that up a little bit closer. And then I'm just coloring it in with the light. No, it's not pumpkin pie that I stamped it with. I stamped it with pecan pie. And then I'm coloring it with the light pecan pie, and I'm also going to color the crust on our pumpkin pie with this color. It's a pretty good pie crust color, I think. And that is about it for that. I am going to take Pool Party and just do a little bit of shadow coloring here on the white cup. And then we need light pumpkin pie here. Let's see. Actually, I think I'll start with the dark pumpkin pie. I think there's a lot of people that don't like pumpkin pie. I've always liked it. I mean, of course you can get pumpkin pie that's better than others. Depends on who made it, I guess. Color a little pumpkin in there. And now I'm going to go over this with the light pumpkin pie. So there is that. And I need this color again, the light pecan pie. I'm going to do the cup sleeve here. Okay, so there's that. And now I can bring in my little cut and emboss machine here. Let's zoom back out. There we go. And I'm ready to do some die cutting here. So I've got the little dollop die. I think I'll do this one. And then the big dollop, the cup, and the pie. Oh, I didn't get the cinnamon stick. I need that one too. So there's that, and here is the cinnamon stick. And the small dollop of whipped cream. The pie. And the big dollop of whipped cream. You know I'm going to want a pumpkin latte now. All right. Now we can run these through and cut them all out at one time. I love that. so cute. Okay, let me just set my dies there, and then I'll put them away because I don't want to lose them. They're so easy to lose. They can get stuck on the bottom of things if you accidentally set stuff on top of them. They're just too easy to get misplaced, especially the little ones. Same with stamps. So I'm always counting things. When I put my dies away, I count to make sure they're all on the carrier sheet. Okay. And what was I going to do? Oh, put my dies away real quick. Maybe that doesn't go there. What I need to do is take these all off of here and put them on a magnetic sheet. Okay. Now then, let's just add a little zippity doodah to the whipped cream here. I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on it just to glisten it up and give it a little bit of sparkle. It would be nice if glittery things showed up on the camera. Sometimes they do, if you catch the light just right. Give that a minute to dry because I want to add some sprinkles to the whipped cream on the latte. All right, so we can go ahead and put this little dollop of whipped cream on the pie here. I need to bring my tweezers over, I think. And let's see here. Let's see if that's dry enough. I think it is. So I'm just going to grab my pumpkin pie ink and the sprinkles stamp. And add some sprinkles to this whipped cream. Cute. Can you see the glisten on that or not? I'm really loving my glue press. I know I keep mentioning that, but the more I use it, the more I love it. Okay, that's just so cute. And then let's put the cinnamon stick on. Now, before I have cut a hole or cut a little slit into the whipped cream and stuck it in that way, but it really just looks just as cute if you add it to the back like that. Okay, so those two pieces are ready. Let me pull out all of our parts and pieces now. Did I get it all? I think so. Okay. So this cute plaid is from that Timeless Plaid paper pack. And I've cut another mat here out of the pecan pie. This is the largest die in those perennial postage. Where'd it go? Here it is. So it's the largest die there. And before I glue it down, I'm actually going to grab my pecan pie ink here and ink the edges. And then I've got a bunch of other stamps, if you will, cut. Just 4, not too big of a bunch. And I'm going to ink that while I'm at it. Or those, I guess I should say. I'm trying to think of what has come out in the different food products in the pumpkin spice flavor, because I remember there were a couple of things that it's like, ooh, no, that was not good at all with being a pumpkin spice flavor, but I can't remember what it was now. They get a little too crazy with some of it, I think. Some things just aren't meant to be pumpkin spice flavored. Okay, so those pieces are ready, and this one I can go ahead and attach to that other mat. I made 2 of these cards already this morning. Each of this will be the 3rd, so each of the 3 will all be a little different from each other just because of the patterned paper that I used and the colors. So there is that. And then I've got a piece of Cajun Craze for my card base here. And that's what color is in this patterned paper also. Okay, so just making sure I've got my fold at the top. And then I have a piece of vanilla here, and that's what these little squares are that I die cut. That is using the Fairy Vanilla. I've got another little scrap piece of my patterned paper here to put down one side for the inside of the card, just so it's got a little bit of decoration in it. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that with my liquid glue. And then we can get this put on the inside. You could use that little pumpkin stamp and stamp on the inside too. That would be cute. Or even stamp the slice of pie in there again. However you want to do it. Okay, there we go with that. So now, get situated here. I'm going to just lay out my little stamp pieces where I want them to go. Oh, I still need to put my little wagon together, so I guess I should do that next. So those are going to go like that, and here's my wagon. It's going to be full of pumpkins. Can't have pumpkin spice without pumpkins. These pumpkins are so cute. You could use them in lots of different ways. You could even cut the two on the sides apart from the one in the middle and build a bigger pile of pumpkins if you wanted to. Then I've got the two little wheels here. Now you can put the wheels behind the fender area or in front, however you like the looks of it. You can also die cut out the hubcaps that go in the middles of the wheels if you want to, and layer them up. There's lots of choices in this set. Okay, so there's the wagon. I think we're ready to get this card put together. All right, so I'm gonna glue these down flat. When I got up this morning, I had no idea what I was going to do for my card today, and then it just popped into my head. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, that might be fun. So all the new items have become available now from the new holiday mini catalog. Those became available on the 3rd. So we have new stuff from the catalog and new online exclusive items. So if you're ready to do some holiday crafting, card making, paper crafts, whatever, the new stuff is finally available. Okay, so there is that. All right, let me pull these over because I am going to pop these things up a little bit here. Just going to hold those little wheels down there for a second. Hi, Beck Ann. Okay, and then we've got the pumpkin pie. I love the sparkle on the whipped cream. And we've got the pumpkin spice latte. I think I'm going to have to try and get me one of these over the weekend. Okay, and then I cut out 2 of the little leaves, and I was going to show you the die for that. It is in the die set for the More Than Autumn right there. And when it cuts out, it actually cuts out in 2 pieces. The middle is separate from the little skinny outline. So if you wanted the outline to be a different color, you could just cut it out of a different paper. I cut these out of that 6x6 designer series paper in that I showed earlier. I'll show you again. This, the Brights pack. So I just cut 1 orange one and 1 green one because we need to have some falling leaves on here. So when you add your adhesive, you just want to make sure that you're touching your glue to that little outside skinny border as well as the inside. So cute. Okay, then I cut out the words pumpkin spice. We've got pumpkin, cocoa, spice, apple, hot, because that could be hot cocoa, season, and then nothing's better than. And then over here you've got latte and coffee. Now I do have like the double stick sheets that you can put your cardstock. You can put the sticky on your cardstock before you die cut so that when you run it through the die with the die cut or the die, it makes it like a sticker, and then you just peel the backing off. And that works really well for fine lined things like this. But with the fine tip on this glue, that works really good too. So I'm just going to put my words sideways like this. Because I think it looks so cute. Yeah, it's definitely been feeling fallish around here where I live. And we didn't have enough summer weather, that's for sure. But It is what it is. The leaves are definitely falling and everything here. And this one I'm putting right over here. Oh, I just think it turned out so cute. Pumpkin spice. So then this card can be whatever you want. I always like to just leave the inside until I figure out who I'm giving it to and for what occasion, but it definitely could be a birthday card or a whatever card, just by whatever you decide to put on the inside. Okay, so there we have it. And then the two that I made earlier today. This one has the early espresso card base with the mat of crumb cake, and then this plaid here. And this card, when I pulled this piece of early espresso out, it was cut the long way, so I just made this a side fold card. And I think I need to do more cards with the side fold because I kind of like it like that. So there's that one. And then this one, I did the card base with Calypso Coral with this plaid here. And it's a top fold also. So there's all three of them together. Which color combo is your favorite? I thought about changing the words up and doing different colors, but I actually just really liked the words done with the early espresso on all of them, so I just went for that. But each one I did, I thought, oh, this is my favorite, then that one's my favorite color, so I like them all. I mean, they're all the same card, just a little color change here and there. Thank you, Angela. Thanks, Beck Ann. The bottom one is your favorite. Yeah. They're all cute, I think. And, you know, I don't think they need any other bling. You can't see it, but I did put the Wink of Stella on the whipped cream, so it's shimmery. But you could certainly add some bling. Might be cute in the little centers of the wheels, maybe. Okay, I'm going to get the fairy book out for story time. So let me move these out of the way and bring my big old giant fairy book over. Fairyopolis. I love this book. I think I probably say that every time. I've been thinking about maybe doing a fairy themed junk journal. I think that would be fun. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we read those already. Ooh, this is going to be a fun page, I think. I can't zoom out any further without moving my whole stand here. I'll do the best I can to get it in. Okay, this is dated the 1st of September, so we're almost going along with what actual time usually is. Danita, the top left is your favorite, but they're also cute. Thank you. Okay, the 1st of September. I have had my fill of fairies and have resolved to forget about them for the time being. This over here says, he shakes the nuts down from the tree. The 3rd of September, took a walk in the woods today. I was passing under a beech tree when a shower of nuts rained down upon my head. As I looked upwards, I heard a giggle. I imagined a fairy living high in the tree. Many trees are significant to fairies, in particular oak, ash, and thorn. I have written a small guide to fairies and trees. So I think that's what this cute little book is. A dictionary of fairy trees. Apple, the fruit on bark of the apple tree can be used in fairy magic. The apples also make excellent gifts for the fairies. Ash. Ash trees are believed to provide protection from the more mischievous types of fairies. They cannot use their magic on those standing in the shadow of an ash tree. Beech. In Celtic mythology, the beech was a symbol of potency, thanksgiving, and was used in, oh dear, divination. I don't know. I've never heard that word. Divination. Blackthorn. Blackthorn trees are carefully guarded by the fairies who believe them to be sacred. Elder. Fairies believe that elder trees will protect them from any humans who wish them harm. Fairies also make wine from the elderberries. Hawthorn. All thorny trees are favored meeting places for fairies. Holly. Holly berries are a particular favorite of the fairies. Lilac. I love lilac. The wafting scent of lilacs will attract fairies to a garden. Well, they'll attract humans too. Towards the end of my walk, I came upon a mysterious-looking circle of long, dark grass dotted here and there with mushrooms. I believe it to be a fairy ring. What an exciting find. The secret of the fairy ring. In some parts of the West Country, folk tales describe nighttime fairies who ride young horses in circles round fairy rings. Rings appear to have a link with fairyland. A person who steps in a ring will suddenly be able to see the fairies dancing and hear their sweet music. This can be so entrancing that those who experience it lose all sense of time and will stay dancing with the fairies until they are pulled away. In some parts of the country, stepping into a fairy ring will bring good luck. In others, it will bring misfortune. A fairy ring is a place where fairies meet to dance. All fairies adore dancing, and they particularly enjoy leaping and bounding in circles. Legend says the rings themselves are created from the marks that fairies make on the grass during their energetic circular dances. Fairy rings are found in woods and fields and appear as rings of dark grass or circles of mushrooms or a combination of the two. The grass within the ring is usually a bright, lush shade of green. As soon as I arrived home, I endeavored to find out all I could about fairy rings. It's so fascinating that I have typed my notes up into a small volume. I came across another interesting fact during my readings. Apparently, fairies deplore being investigated by humans. They hate any kind of prying. So I have been going about my fairy hunt in an entirely the wrong way. Wow. Okay. So much for our fairy story for today. It's fun to read something like this, even though I'm sure we are all grown-ups here. But we can go off in fairyland for a few minutes and just enjoy being kids at heart. Thanks so much for being with me here today, and I hope you enjoyed these pumpkin spice cards. They were fun to make, and hopefully whoever receives them will like them too. You guys have a great rest of your day and a great weekend ahead. I hope you get to have some crafting time in there, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.